All right. We are having some serious technical difficulties with Instagram right now. All right, we're having some technical difficulties today. I don't know what the fuck is going on. Instagram doesn't seem to want to be streaming. Um, Sorry about that, but that's why we're a little late today. I'm playing catch up. But we have a lot of follow up calls to make today, and we're going to get at least one appointment. So, but I think we're all good to go. I think we are good. All right. Okay. We're going to start with I just need to get into like a heightened mood right now. Who would be calling me this early? Let's find out. Good morning. This is Daniel. Jeff, how you doing? Thanks for calling back. I appreciate that. Yeah, I wasn't sure if my assistant apparently gave me your wife's number, so I apologize. Right, and when I asked her, she said, "Dan, I just pulled I pulled up the names. I saw her just name I saw first, so I pulled up her number, and I was like, okay." But I apologize for that. Yeah. So, ah, okay, I'm just gonna take some notes. Okay. Mhm. Mhm. Sure. Yeah. All right. Yep. It is. It is. And what's crazy is Jeff, I would think that because of how many developments are going up, we've put up some too. Like we got one in Belleville and other ones going. I would think that the rental market would have cooled, but it's not. And I know at some point it will. You can't keep building these 100, 200 unit buildings and having, just giving these incentives and having people come. Like at some point, it has to turn to where, whether it's the interest rate market, where it's going to be more attractive for people to buy, which I think is going to come, but I don't think it's going to be for at least another 12 to maybe 24 months. because the Fed just I don't know if you know, they just met, I think it was either yesterday or the day before. Yeah, they're not gonna do anything for a while, so, um, but yeah, I mean, that's listen, if it goes up when you decide to end up doing this as far as a sale to someone who's gonna put up rentals, good for them. Mhm, okay, yeah, mhm. That was my next question to you. It sounds like you're doing well, so this isn't like I have to do anything. Mhm, yeah, okay, sure. Nothing like this. Mhm, yep. We have so we're basically what we are is primarily we're listing agents. So what we see is yeah. So what we see is when properties come off the market and they don't sell for whatever the reason is, the first call that I make is like that's this one. It's just like an intro call. Hey, what happened? Is there still a need to sell? Is it important to you? Give me the parameters about what happened. Now, 8 out of 10 times, 9 out of 10 times, the properties were listed that we talked to with residential agents, and they really needed to be on a commercial basis. Yeah. So with and again, with you, what I'm gonna probably end up doing is talking to Jason owns the company. He's the owner. So I'm gonna speak to him and say, "Look, here's what the town said. Here's what he has. Here's what he's got as far as leases." Trembick, yeah, he owns Tip Commercial. So TIP is Trembick International Properties, which is Tip Commercial. That's our company. Um, we've done land development where we either do it ourselves, we'll do it ourselves, or we bring somebody else in to do it. Again, we've had again buildings that I don't know 50, 100 unit buildings that we've done. So that's what I just want to kind of, hey, what are you looking? What are you seeing here? Is it something you've been interested in? The lease might be the preventer of it for at least a year. The other half that you have, mhm. Okay, true. Yeah. When does that come up, Jeff? When's that due? You mean September of this year? The lease is up. Of next year. Okay, so September 2026. Got it. Yeah, sure. Yep. Doing what you do. Yeah, doing what you do. Okay. Okay. Month to month. Okay. Total lot size, Jeff. I'm looking at is it about a little over an acre? Okay, acre and a half. I didn't have that. Okay. So we have 1 point. All right. Listed, just so you know, listed, I have lot size of 1.15. Yeah. That's why I want to ask you. I don't have okay. Okay. That would be yeah, that would be perfect. You know what I'm gonna do while I got you on the phone? I'm just gonna text you our website and then my email. All right, so here it is. So www. You can take a look at us and see. When you go in there, go on to track record, and you'll see the properties we've sold, like in the last, I don't know, 12 to 24 months. It's pretty extensive. I know people think the commercial market's down, but listen, price right, these properties are moving. There's cash out there, you know? Mhm. Nice. Good for you. Okay, there's my uh really? Interesting. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Mhm. That's what my next question was gonna be. Are you looking to okay. Mhm. No, listen, the reason I'm laughing is no, it's okay, Jeff. How do I say this? We run into that a lot. So what we're not trying to do is break any kind of a relationship that you have with your and I appreciate your candor. You're being honest and upfront. And that's what we hope to work with people like that. And whether it's off market, the one on Jerusalem, who knows? But yeah, we run into that. I say to people, look, if you don't know a real estate agent and you're living on planet Earth, you're probably in the cave. Mhm. Mhm. That's funny. I know exactly what you're talking about. Yeah. Huh. Got it. A bootlegger. Wow. Okay. Oh. Mhm. Yeah. Yep. Mhm. Been around the block. Mhm. I don't. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Well, if we have anybody, when you list, just let me. I mean, this is myself, so you have my info. Take a look. If you okay. Mhm. Yeah. Right. Gotcha. Of course. Of course. I'm I'm sure. Yeah. Sure. Mhm. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. It is what it I was just gonna say, it is what it is. Mhm. Yep. Yep. And you got the steady cash flow. Yeah. Yeah, that's generally in your average, depending on the area, really. Yep. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Yep, I got friends there. I got friends right on Boulevard. So, awesome. Well, let me listen, I really appreciate you giving me a ring back, giving me all this info. I'm gonna talk to Jason today, actually. It'd be more for well, I mean, I'll talk to him about both the warehouse in Edison and also the land deal. The land deal is the one that I wanted to kind of just gauge your interest on. Sounds like it's definitely on the table. Let me see what he says. And is there a better like during the day? What's the best time to generally give you a ring, or does it matter? Mhm. Gotcha. Okay, where do you go to Galloping Hill? Oh yeah. Oh, gotcha. Okay. Yep. Hmm. Yes, I know exactly what you're talking. I know the place. I haven't golfed there. We're down in LBI. We have a house down there in LBI too. Yeah. So you're a little north of us, but I know exactly where you are. So awesome. Well, listen, it was great to connect with you, my friend. I'll be back in touch with you. Mhm. Yes, you don't. Yep. Okay. My pleasure, Jeff. Thank you. Bye. Sweet. Well, that was a follow up call that I was going to make, guys, and he ended up calling me this morning. So we love that. So the deal is, He has about 2.5 acres. It's approved for about 50 units, 55 units. We do that. So I'm going to talk to my partner and see if we want to get involved in that. I think his ask for the property is a little high. He's asking almost 5.8 million. So I think the ask is why it didn't sell. So we have to see what the spread's going to be, but it's approved. He went through the town to get all the approvals. So that cost, and just so you guys know, there's a high cost of that just to go through the permit and the approval process. If it's you're getting architects, engineers all involved, that costs tens of thousands of dollars to do, and he did it already. So there is a difference between approved and unapproved with property, and the price is reflective of that. So that's awesome. So that's lead follow up number one. I have one I'm going to do now. And he just responded back. Got your text. So he has everything that I just sent him. Cool. All right, we're going to call back this gentleman. This is Joe. Joe has a property that I am. How do I say this? I'm going to be going against. This is a residential. I'm going to be going against a very close family friend, but the family friend did not produce results. Was listed for 6 months, didn't sell, and they really need to sell it. And again, my initial call to him was not, "Hey, you got to get. I gotta." That was not what I did. I gauged it. I went to motivation. Why are you selling? What happened? How come it didn't sell? What's your time frame on getting it back on the market? And then, are you open to meeting with another agent to actually help you? And that's where he would list with me, no problem. But there's like 2 or 3 other siblings that are really, really kind of married to this woman. So what I offered was, well, let's see. I want to get them all on a meeting tomorrow because I know they're all going to be there. So that's what we're going to call him now. So hang on. And I want to set this meeting up so you guys get to hear me pre-qualify and then set the meeting. All right. So before I do that, hold on. Gotta get my hit. Let's do it. All right. That previous one I'm not counting as an appointment, even though he's going to be sending me a lot of information. Thanks, and look forward to your email with info about the development. Cool. All right, that was the previous one. Now we're going to call Joe. Let's see. Look at his number. This is what I work out to. Just give me a minute while I find his number. Imagine cranking weights to this. There it is. All right, we're going to call him now. Okay. It's ringing. Joe. Hey, it's Daniel. How you doing, my friend? Another day. Hey, man, another day on above ground. I love hearing that. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Okay. Well, that's why I was calling. So, yeah, I felt like we had a good conversation the other day, and what I'd like to do. Okay. Yes. Okay. So, yeah, and I listen. I appreciate you being honest with me about that. I do. It's nothing we haven't seen before, and well, what I want to assure you of is, look, whether it's now or later, at least you're gonna meet with the top agent in your area. You'll have all the information that you need so you can make the best decision you can for yourself and your family. I mean, does that sound fair to you? Yeah, and that's all we ask. That's all. I know, and listen, I'm well aware of that, and again, at the end of the day, whether it's me or her, you will have well, I appreciate that, thank you. Yeah. No, I mean, look, I don't. No, so I'm gonna yeah, I mean, so usually when listen, I've been in this, was out of college in '99, so I was been in the industry since then. It's rare that I don't know, who an agent is that is either listing a property or representing it on the other side, and the reason I say that is because I've been here so long. So, when they're not and I don't recognize them, usually they don't have like, they're either getting their legs underneath them, they're new, or they just don't list property very regularly. It's usually one of the 2. Yeah, and I'm very respectful of the fact that she's a friend. So, here's what I'd like to do with your obviously your permission. Let's set a time. I know all 3 of you will be home tomorrow. We'll sit down, we'll meet together as a team, go over I can take a look at the property. We'll go over everything as far as paperwork together. I'll leave it with you. And if at that point you feel comfortable and confident with me, yeah, with your obviously with your siblings. Yes. Yes. I don't think that'd be necessary, to be honest. I don't think so. Well, let's do this. Yeah, let me just ask a few questions. Really, at the end of the day, just to make sure that we're all on the same page. When I go and meet you tomorrow, we can just maximize our time, and again, we'll all be on the same page. Okay, awesome. So I have on title not you, but your the 2 siblings. Is that accurate? Excuse me. Yes. Okay, good. Great. Now, is it an option for you, Joe, not to sell this property? Excuse me, but still make the move to, or still, be where you're. This is like more of an investment property. Yeah, I got a frog in my throat, thanks. Yes. Okay, gotcha. Now, in terms of time frame, you thinking you just wanna get it on the market as soon as possible? Yep, got it. Okay. Yeah. Now as far as decision makers, it sounds like it's you 3. There isn't any is there anybody else you think would it'd be beneficial for them to be at our meeting? It's important for them to hear, or is it just you 3? Just you 3. Okay, got it. Now, look, Joe, nobody knows your home as well as you do. So with that said, share with me any changes, modifications that you've done to the inside of the home or outside that you feel could affect its value in some way. Okay, nice. Got it. Excellent. Yeah, no, I just let me just take a step back. I mean, you've done a phenomenal job with keeping this property in show-ready shape. So what I'm gonna do and all the upgrades you've done. So what I'm gonna do is just make a note to all the buyers and their agents, all of these upgrades, so they know that walking in, so we can just, again, get those bona fide qualified offers. Sound good? Good. Now yeah, perfect. Now, with regards to, I'm imagining you've probably done a little bit of homework in regards to price, redone some research. Do you have any idea at all realistically about what you're thinking of listing the home for at this time? Yeah, I remember you sharing that with me the other day. Don't kick yourself. It's okay. We're gonna do our absolute best to get you that or better. Now, I know that the market is different. There's no doubt, and it is different. And as you know, and you've said it, not in a good way. Yes, we're noticing what we call days on market, which is properties that are on the market and not selling. We're noticing that number rising. I was just at a conference about 3 weeks ago, talking about just that. It's changing. Yes. Well, we knew that was gonna change at some point. It wasn't gonna continue, at no time in the United States real estate history has it ever just continuously rose. It doesn't. Everything corrects, and it runs in 7 to 10-year cycles. Well, we're on year tw think about it, we're on year 12. Well, okay, let's break it down date-wise. Remember, and I was involved in that. I was trading, mortgages and such in 2007, 8 when the correction hit. So that hit in '08. Okay? That was a change of presidency too, remember? Bush was going out and Obama was coming in, and they had to do the bank bailout. Remember all that? Yeah. Great movie to watch if you're interested in movies is The Big Short. It's a very good movie to because I was doing all those credit default swaps and stuff. Yeah. Well, it explains it to people who don't understand that realm. It's a great explanation of what happened. So the reason I'm sharing that is '08 it hit. It didn't bottom out until probably 2010, 2011. I would probably almost say 2011 because think of it as like this. They didn't know, and by they, government, private equity, none of us knew the ramifications of it until it settled. It's like a tsunami. Think of it as a tsunami. Nobody knows the damage of a tsunami until the water starts to settle down. And when the water's up and right, nobody knows what the real damage of it. When that water subsides and subsides, and you see the destruction, that's The same thing with this. So this bottomed out. It took 3 years for it to bottom out. Then it started its rise. That's probably 2012, 2011, 2012. Well, we're in 2025 right now, 13 years. If you look at the market, it's very cyclical and it runs again. Usually it's 7 to 10 year cycles. And it runs around when we change presidencies, coincidentally, or there's some kind of a world or global event. Okay. Yeah. So you're just seeing that now. It's starting to plateau now. It'll probably dip at some point. History says it will. Do I think it will? I don't like to speculate on opinion. I like to look at fact because we could learn from facts. Correct. Yeah. Well, it gives, yes, I was on the lending side for a while and then I'm on the real estate side. So I've been in the industry for, yeah, 20 something years now, I guess, 25, 26. Yep. Well, it does, I'll say it gives me a leg up too, because I rarely have deals where the buyer doesn't perform because I understand how to vet a buyer. Yeah, from an underwriting perspective. And what I mean by underwriting is I'll know from their credit, their assets, and their income whether they can afford to buy the property that I'm listing. Well, yeah. Well, that would be one of the benefits of listing with myself. Yeah. Think of it like a surgeon who's done 500 surgeries versus somebody who's done 20. That's the difference between listing me versus somebody else. Okay. All right. Now, so we have that number. That's, yeah, you were getting offers there. Listen, again, to reiterate, I'll do my best to get numbers there, but we'll go over together as a team. Well, what we're going to do, myself, you, and your two siblings, is we're going to go over properties that are on the market right now and not selling. And we call those the unsolds. Okay. And the reason we call them that is they're on the market and your neighbors are doing us a big favor. Can I share with you what that is? Well, what they're doing is they're showing us what price points aren't working. And that can be very informational to us when we go to market. Because remember, when we go to market, we're going to be competing with other properties, these ones in particular. And remember, we want to be the next obvious choice to sell over them. Exactly. They're going to be looking at those and then ours. So we want to make ourselves the most attractive. And we'll go over those numbers together as a team. What's not selling, then what we'll also do, Joe, is go over properties that have sold and closed in the last 3 to 6 months. Correct. Now, what I mean by that is what a buyer, a seller, and a bank appraiser have all agreed to. The bank appraiser is key because you can come to an agreement with a buyer on a number. If the bank that's lending the buyer money doesn't think that it's worth, they have to appraise it. If they say no and it comes in under, we're gonna have to negotiate that. So that's why the bank appraiser is so important. Yes. And then what we'll also do, and what's gonna co and Joe, what's gonna come to the surface is not a pinpoint to the penny, but a nice realistic range regarding value and price for your property. Does that make sense? Perfect. And then what we'll also do, Joe, is go over strategy because pricing your property, it's gonna be a strategy. So in an attempt for us to get the most money we can out of those buyers. And I'll go over all the strategies that you and your siblings have at your disposal because really, Joe, at the end of the day, I want you all to be really comfortable with the strategy we end up choosing for your property. Does that sound fair? Yes. Perfect. Now, I'm going to send you over a package of information in preparation for us meeting tomorrow. What's a good email that I could send it to? The number 2 are written out too. Okay, perfect. And what'll be in there is, like our pre-list package, which has what we do in a given day to help sellers get the most for the can for their property. A little bit about me, some references, and all those references are our past clients that have we've had the good fortune of helping, and they agreed to share their experience if someone wanted to, vet me really. So I encourage you to call them. Again, they're just past clients, not friends. Perfect. Yes. Okay. Now, would you review that before we meet tomorrow? Show that to your sisters. Awesome. Yeah, I mean, look, Joe, you sound like a straight shooter. I'm the same way, which is probably why we ended up connecting in the first place. And I really appreciate the time you've given me today. When we do meet tomorrow, and you and your family just feel really comfortable and confident with me, that I can help you do two things. Number one, net the absolute most we can. But number two, and I think more importantly for you and what your goals are, doing it in a very smooth and efficient manner. It sounds like you'd be open to the possibility of hiring me when we meet. Is that right? Yes. What we'll do is, if that's the case, we'll figure out what the best route to go with compensating her. If that's what we need to do, I'm totally open to it. We'll figure that out together as a team. Let's put it this way: it would never be a reason that we wouldn't do business together, ever. I know. I know. It's look, it's a big reason why I'll always advise against hiring family to sell property, because I'm not saying this happened to you, but what would happen in the case that it's the job's not getting done and you have to fire them because you really need to sell the property? Do you think it'd have a strain on the relationship? Yeah, and it's challenging. So again, it's nothing that we haven't seen, and again, we'll figure out something that will be fair to us, fair to them, and mutually beneficial for everybody involved. Yeah, perfect. I know you would. Well, having that I'm the just so you know too, in my family, I'm basically the one that handles all the finances and such. Yeah. So, and I'm I'd be the decision maker. Sounds like you are too, but you don't want there to be strife between the family, and I get that. I don't want that either. So if my sister, or, my other siblings wanted somebody else or just felt, you know, tied to them, so to speak, we would figure out a way to make everybody whole. Okay, perfect. So I'm looking here. Would 1 o'clock tomorrow work, or 3? What would be hang on, what would be better for you? Actually, 12 or 1? What would work better? Yes. Well, thankfully, yes, there are other sellers. Like, it's that time. It's spring, people are listing, it's been busy. So, that would be when I can fit you in we can fit in tomorrow, but I wanna really accommodate you and your family, so if that doesn't. Oh, okay, good. Alright, perfect. Okay. I'm gonna have my transaction manager send you over the, um, pre-list package. Her name is Lady, so she will introduce herself to you and, in the email and send that out. I just ask that you look at that before we meet tomorrow. I'm also gonna give you a call tonight just to confirm, number 1, that you received the email. Number 2, that the time tomorrow is still good. Okay? Perfect. Now, I've asked you a lot of questions, and I really appreciate, Joe, you giving me some time this morning. Do you have any questions for me before we meet? Yeah, totally get it. It's a great question, and that'll be one of the first things we'll go over because look at it this way. I haven't seen the property yet, and you have options with regards to the professional fee because a lot of that's gonna be determined, Joe, on how active you want the other agents to be showing your property. And we will go over all those options together, myself, you, and your 2 siblings, and then we're gonna figure out what would be the best route for you to go, okay? Well, like, it's not flat, like, there's ways we can structure that to get more people in, and also there's Yes, excuse me. That's right. Perfect. Anything else before, I let you go and we meet tomorrow? Any other questions? What would you like me to discuss with you and your siblings first? Okay, I love it. You're a straight shooter. I have a note here, so we'll put that together. We'll do that first, and then we'll go over everything else. Because look, I really want your siblings to have a comfort level. So at the end of the day, what they can say to themselves is, I have all the information from him, I have all the information from her. If all things are equal, who would you feel more comfortable going with? Yes. And at that point, listen, Joe, I just say go with your gut. Go with inside here is never gonna steer you wrong. If it's her, then it's fine. We'll part as I'll if I have buyers, I'll bring them in, but, I won't lie to you, and you know that. You've been getting calls from people telling you that they do, and you know that it's BS. But y and look, you probably why we're talking is I didn't say that to you in the beginning, because I don't. I'm not gonna start our relationship off on a lie. Well, that's now you're beginning I'd say now you're beginning to see why people like you hire me all the time, is exactly what you just said. Okay, perfect. Well, I'll get that email out to you, and then again, at the end of the day, we'll figure out together as a team what to do as far as that situation, that scenario goes. Okay? Yep. No, thank you for the kind word. It's been my pleasure, really, and I really look forward to working with you and your family on this. Again, it's, yes, there's always a way. There's always a way, and we will come to that together. Perfect. I'm looking forward to it tomorrow. I will reach out to you tonight again just to confirm, and we can go from there. Okay, my friend? Perfect. Any other questions before I let you go? Got it. Okay, tomorrow it is. I'll talk to you tonight. Bye. All right, cool. All right, so that's an appointment. So we have it tomorrow at 1 PM. This is it's gonna be they had offers in the 900s. They're regretting not taking them, and the market has changed since then, so I didn't guarantee him. If you noticed, I did not guarantee him we're gonna get offers at that number. I said, "We're gonna look together as a team and figure out what's selling, what's not selling, and then we're gonna come to an agreement on what strategy you wanna use to sell the property." And he was like, "That's perfect." Yeah. So I just wanna kind of before I start making other follow-up calls, I want you guys to understand, I don't tell them anything. If you notice, everything is just question-based, question-based. "Share with me this. Tell me this." You know, what's important to you here? What's the time? It's all just questions. I'm not telling them anything, and it's just and it's like a train track. I'm just guiding them along because it's like again, you don't go into the doctor's office or your attorney's office and start telling your attorney or your doctor how they're going to do their job. You don't do that. Well, this is the same. There's a way to do this where we can get the absolute most we can for the property in a smooth and efficient manner. I know how to do that because I've done this hundreds of times, and I'm just guiding them along. That's all. Just guiding them along. It's like on a train track. So so I pre-qualified them. And now this is a bona fide qualified appointment that I'm going on tomorrow. I'll have listing paperwork with me, even though he said I have to talk it over with my no problem. I'm gonna have it with me, and believe me, I'm gonna ask him for the business when we're done with the appointment. So that's how you pre-qualify, and I'm gonna do a workshop on that too, and I'll stream it live. Listing presentation, we're pre-qualifying. Okay. Hey, any questions? Do you guys have any questions? Do you throw them in the chat? If you have anything that you want me to go over or that you heard me ask him that was important, throw it in the chat, guys. But that pre-qualification, I don't even have the script here. It's in my head. The listing presentation, it's in my head because I've done it so many times. And I can teach you and help you in how to do that. Feedback would be great. I'm always curious what you guys think about it. Um, but I did that yesterday to another client. Same thing. I pre-qualified him, and that's going to be a listing. Actually, we got to go on that. It's just going to be there's a couple of things they have to do in the background before they can put the property on the market. So, but I said the same exact things yesterday that I said today. Same exact questions, same exact way. Hey, we're going to come to this together as a team. There's two strategies. I want you to be really comfortable with the strategy we end up choosing. Does that sound fair? Do you have any idea at all realistically what you want to list the property for? Is there anybody else involved in making the decision? Guys, this is all in here. Instead of, yeah, you know what? I want to see you tomorrow at 3. Okay, great. Hang up, go run out there. You don't know who's on title. You don't know what they want to list it for. The only reason that I'm now have this and can do this skill is because I used to do that. I get in a point. Somebody would say, "You know what, Dan? Yeah, like come out see me." I'd be like, "Oh my god, like, I want to, great. I'll be there at like 3 o'clock today." And I'd hang up and get on my suit and go drive out there and didn't know what the hell I was doing. Numerous times. Now that doesn't happen anymore. So my conversion ratio, because remember, guys, transactions have contracted almost 50% from 3 and 4 years ago. So now your conversion rate, when you do get somebody like this who's interested in selling, you have to have the skill to convert them. So it's a conversion rate. Listing appointments to listings taken to closings. Those are two ratios that you should be tracking. Okay? Awesome. And then I just got another text while I was on the phone with him. This guy just said, "Can you keep in touch?" So this is a commercial that we've been talking to for almost a year, and he has I can't say what is in what he has as far as tenants, but we have to wait for them to leave, and they're supposed to be leaving, but they haven't left yet, and it's a touchy scenario that I can't say what it is, but just know that tenants have to leave, and he said, "Can you just keep in touch with me, because I'm when the minute they leave, I'm ready." But I'm so a doctor. I'm just texting him now, so I'm sorry for the delay, but I'm just texting him. Okay. Let's do another call. I have a lot of follow up to do today. A lot. I had one more. Shit, what time is it? Quarter to 10. All right, I have about another hour. Oh, I know who I have to call. So this is a guy, Pat. He has a building in Newark. There he is. And the problem, so the issue is the numbers don't pencil out to like 1.4, 1.5, which is what he wants. And it really pencils out to like a million. So we just don't want to take it. But the problem is his neighbor, literally right next door to him, same exact building, six fam, sold for 1.5. Now, the person who bought that severely overpaid for it, but they're now thinking, well, hell, his place is way worse condition than ours. We renovated ours. Can't we get like 1.3, 1.4? But I have the rents. We have the rents, and it doesn't pencil out. So he's like, well, do would it work? And I'm like, I don't think it will. And then I talked to my partner. He's like, it definitely won't work. You can't, it's just not, would it appraise? Yes. But would somebody buy this and then take it at a loss? Yes. So it's almost like a negative cap rate. So here, I'm calling him. It's ringing. His name's Pat. I'm like, I wish I could list them. Believe me, I do. It sucks that we can't. Hey, Pat. Daniel from Tip. How you doing? Pat, I have gone over this 17 different ways with Jason with this, and we're I don't think that it would be. We want to list this and get you what you want for it, but I just he's skeptical, and he's like, look, we can use the neighbor as a comp, but the numbers just don't pencil. He's like, they don't work. And I really want to list you, but and help you with it, but I don't think that. I think that the offers that are going to come in, they're going to be in that like $1 million range. I don't think it's going to be like 1.4, 1.3. And we don't want to take the listing. We don't want to just list it, and you know, we don't want to do that to you. We don't work that way. If we really honestly thought we could get it, I'd tell you, Pat, let's get this thing on the market. I think we can get it. We've we've gone over this. That's what took me so long to get back to you. We just were going racking our brains on this. I don't know how they paid one. What was it, 1.6 or 1.5 next door? I don't know how they paid that. Yes, yes, we saw it. No, I know. I said to him, I said, I showed it to him. I pulled up the tax record. I said, Jay, here's his neighbor. It's in worse condition than his. And he paid one thing. He said, I don't know who bought that. He said, but they severely overpaid for it because the numbers won't even pencil out. You're at like a 2 or 3 cap with that. I think you should, yeah. If it were me and it was my building, and that's how I word this, I don't want to say I think or I shouldn't. If this were my building and I owned it, I would keep it and just keep cash flowing it. Yeah. Hmm. Totally. And that's what we'd love to do for you. We'd love to help you list it, get it, and then get you into something else. Maybe even 1031 it. Sure. Yes. Yes, and I told him that. I said, "Jay, look, he'd be willing to, like, work with us if we found him something else. I mean, I'm sure we could. That's not the issue. It's can we realistically tell him we'll get him 1,314 for it?" And he's like, "No, I just don't think it's gonna happen. I think we'd be taking a listing and trying to get somebody in there." And it's fully and I said he said, "Is it rented?" I said, "Yeah." He said, "Then you're gonna be bothering tenants too." And I don't think that it's gonna, let's just be straight with them. I don't think we're gonna be able to get that. Million, million one? Yeah, yeah, yeah. I would tell you to keep it. What are you realistically, Pat, what are you cash flowing on that? NOI at the end of the day. And after everything is paid, all expenses. Sure. Yep. That is real money, man. $3,800 is real money. Yep. It would be wrong for me to tell you that you should sell it because we think we can get you something better. That's a great return. Yep. Yep. No. No. Yeah. Yes. And here's the other issue too. That's not a public sale. It's not like out there so where somebody can look at it and say, "All right, well, this sold." Maybe you have to dig deep in tax records to find it, which people normally wouldn't do, brokers or buyers. So I had to dig in and go into tax records to see the sale. So if we listed you and put you on open market, the first thing we're going to get is how are you asking 1.5 or 1.4 for this? It's not the numbers aren't even close to penciling out. Well, this property sold for that. Okay, but that's the issue is you're gonna have people running through your tenants and showing property, and I don't wanna put them through that if I don't think that I could realistically get you that. That's again, at the end of the day, uh, and Jason said this too. He said, "Look, hopefully, if they do have something in the future, or wanna work with us in the future, they'll understand that our upfrontness and honesty and just being candid with them regarding the listing, maybe that goes, takes us places and we work with them in the future." Yeah. Mhm. I remember. Yes. 3,800 again, I'll say it to this day that is for somebody to get a return on that in Newark, that's real money. That is real money. So keep it. Yeah, we would just say keep it. And then if another opportunity comes down the road, Pat, and I'll send you our info. I'll send you another email to see have like our website. You have our info. We'd love to see if we can build a relationship with you and uh, work together in the future, whether it's on a buy or a sell. Yeah. Yep. Yes. Yeah. We Yeah, that's what we'll do. I'm gonna send you again, I'll reiterate in the email, what we went over today, and then again, yeah, we'll look to see if we can do something in the future, but I really appreciate you being patient, because I know it was a while we talked a couple weeks ago, but we've Jason and I have we've gone back and forth on it, and then we just figured, you know what, this is really the realistic thing. So I appreciate you being patient with us, and yeah, we'll be in touch in the future, my friend. And same with you. If anything, feel free to reach out to us. Thanks, Pat. Appreciate you. All right, you too. So Pat said, believe me, Dan, the fact that you're telling me that you don't really think you could get it, you know how many agents have called me and said I should list my property? I was like, I bet. It's not gonna pencil out. He's not gonna get that. Somebody severely overpaid for the property next door, severely. So, it'd be false and wrong for me to sit here and tell him, "Yeah, give us a listing, we're gonna get on the market, somebody's gonna pay that." The 9 out of 10 times, it's not gonna happen. It just doesn't work, the numbers don't work. The cap rate's not even close to where it would need to be. So when I shared that with him, he said, if you remember our first conversation, I'm a relationship guy. So I wanted to give our agent that got us the property the opportunity to sell it. It didn't. And then you reached out to us. But you telling me what you did, he goes, that goes a long way. So I'm gonna email him again because he has our email, and I'm gonna text him again. He said, I'd love to do business with you in the future. Thank you for your honesty. And that was the last word he said. Thank you for your honesty. He's making like almost 4 grand a month after expenses. Guys, that's real money these days. So imagine just being able to own a building and each month you're cashing checks for 4 grand. Okay. So these are good follow-ups. This is awesome. I love this, guys. I really hope whoever's watching is learning. Yeah, they will be. Okay, they'll be out in 6 weeks. Because major repairs, but for the most part, in good shape. Talk to you. All right, so this is the owner of the building that I was just texting. I said I'm asking him about my region. What he's saying. I asked him about the tenants, and he said yes, they will be out in 6 weeks. I will have to go in and do some major repairs, but for the most part, the building is in good shape. I want to talk to you about price. It's just bugging me that I purchased it for 875, which was a great price for two buildings on the location, and now only selling it for 1,000,000 17 years later. I think we should just try for a month or so at 1.2. That's $600,000 a building. That's not too crazy. So what we're gonna do, again, this is good. I want them to be honest. So what my partner and I are gonna do is go over with this seller together as a team. Realistically, is that gonna be a number that we could get? The only the downside to this is office space right now is the hardest part of commercial to sell, and it has not recovered from COVID. There are a multitude of companies that are allowing work from homes because the two biggest expenses with any kind of company are salary and office space. So if you can eliminate one of those, now your biggest expense is salary. After COVID, we figured it out, guys. You don't need to go to an office. So that's what's going on with that. And again, guys, if you notice, there's like just multiple things going on at one time. Where do these all come from? Where do all these leads and these potential sales coming from? Making phone calls. It's not a coincidence that I'm as busy as I am. It's making phone calls, picking up the phone and making calls. And it's a skill, and a skill that can be taught. I teach it, and I'd love to teach y'all. There should not be, hang on, I'm just unplugging my computer. There should not be call reluctance. And if there is, it's only because you don't know what to say. Well, I can teach you what to say. Then once you know what to say, make calls. That's all. Simple. All right. Let's do this, guys. What I'm going to do now, when we get done, I'm going to forward this to my partner just so he knows. And I also have a buyer who we sold her property in the southern New Jersey area. Now, I didn't. I referred it to one of the agents on my in my downline who works there, and I just took a referral on it. And he, it was a $450,000 transaction at he had the listing side 4% to him. So he ended up, you do the math on that, 4% of 450, and then I got 25% of it. So I do that, guys. I refer out listings to the people that are in my downline. I don't want to say on my team, but in my downline. Because when they do well, I do well. I want them to just succeed because it lets me know that what I'm helping them and sharing with them and teaching them and leading them is right and they're doing well. So she closed. Now she's living in a temporary place that her family has, and she's antsy to get under contract because it's a commute and it's a hard commute. So we've looked at a few. I think this is the one that actually this checks all the boxes of what she wants. We're going to go see it tomorrow night. So that'll be a $600,000 at like 3%. Just keeping busy, guys. And again, it all comes from phone calls. Just keep that in mind. All from phone calls. Okay. All right. Who else do we have? It's 10 o'clock. I'm going to be calling for about another half hour, 45 minutes. Okay. My buddy is having baby number one. That means I'm going to be another uncle, which I love. And they're in the hospital right now. My brother, I can't wait to see this little girl. Love being an uncle to girls. My niece is like she is. What's the stupid saying people used to say? She is the bomb.com. Remember that? It's ridiculous, but it just popped into my head. But she is. She's all that in a bag of plantains. All right, we got one more. I'm going to call. This is a commercial follow up. This is a price reduction. This is going to be a price reduction, guys. We've had this property on the market for 6 months, and this seller has been, how do I say this? It was promised to us when we took the listing. We knew that it was going to be high, but it was with a $150,000 to $200,000 price reduction. This property will go under contract tomorrow, but she's reluctant to do it. And we've gone over this. This is another phone call with, they want to retire. And we've had, I don't know, 70,000 people look at it from just how we've been marketing it. And we've had 3 showings in 6 months. We've been talking to her each, probably every 10 to 14 days. It's not that she doesn't know what's happening, just does not want to take the reduction. And we've gotten to the point now, my partner and I, we're just going to give the listing back. Because when we took it, we said, we'll give it 30 days, but we want your agreement that if it does not sell at the number you want, we take the reduction. And then when 30 days came, she was like, nope, not doing the reduction. And we've kept pushing, I don't say pushing. We kept presenting facts, and she didn't take it. She doesn't want to take it. So today is the day that we are going to say to her, And I'm gonna basically say to her, I'm gonna do the reduction. If, we're just ready to just give the listing back to you. We don't it's not serving us to have it on the market anymore, okay? So this will be probably the last call I'll make today. Okay, this is Lydia. Ay. Okay, it's ringing. No, it usually answers. Lydia? Hello? Hmm, it hung up. Let's try it again. Oh, she just texted, "Give me a minute." Okay. All right. Now, just for everybody knows too, getting a price reduction on a listing that you had for multiple months is basically like a new listing. You know it's not selling. Instead of it expiring and you losing it, you've now taken a reduction to where you know that the property is that's what it's worth, and you can now get offers. It's just like a new listing. Instead of you losing it, you're now gaining a listing. So it's a skill. The reason I'm saying that is it's a skill, one that needs to be developed in this market because this market, guys, yeah, I was looking at somebody on Instagram. Yeah, in this market, price reductions are like new listings. Days on market is increasing. Buyers are getting fatigued. There's less of them now. The ones that you have out there, they're now vying for all of these listings. That's why your days on market's going up. Oh, she's calling back. Hold on. Okay. Let's see. I'll answer in a minute. Hi, Lydia. That's okay. I was just, yeah, because it was foggy there for a minute, so I wasn't sure what if I had you or a bad connection or what. No, I mean it's a great question. So we sent you over the reports on how many people, like how many buyers and people interested have looked at the property. Well, what that tells us is what we're doing, Jason and I, it's working. We've had almost 70,000 people looking at this property. I mean, you saw it. It's not only in the United States. We had other people in Europe looking at it. That's how far our reach goes. Now, can I share with you what's concerning about that? Well, having that many people see the property and us only have 3 showings, there probably were a few drive-bys, to look at the property, but only 3 showings tells us something very important. Well, I wish that were the case. What it tells us is that they're seeing enough value to look at it, they're just not seeing enough value to come and actually physically see it. Well, that's indi and yes, we've spoken about this with you. It's indicative of the price. That's all it is. Yeah, and I'm imagining under that question, you just wanna make sure that we're doing everything that we could be doing to sell the property, right? Yeah, And the good can I share with you the good news? Yeah, everything that we're doing exactly for you, exactly what we've done to sell those other hundreds of commercial properties that we've sold. Doing the exact same thing. Well, it's a legitimate question, but again, at the end of the day, if they're not seeing the value there, they're gonna wait until it's at a number where they're saying to themselves, "Okay, let's go even take a look at it." Not even saying make an offer on it. Let's go take a look at it. We're not there. And if you remember, when Jason and I first met with you, this the number that we had in our minds was 1.2. Yeah. We gave you what's for sale in the area, we gave you the sold, and that was what we had priced the property at. Now we took the shot at 1.4, but again, after 30 days, if we don't have showings and offers, you know, well, what would you think so we've had that many people look at it. I mean, that's an inordinate amount of people looking at the property. Would you agree? Yeah. I mean, we have people in Europe looking at it. You see it. You have it in front of you. I'm not it's not anything that I'm telling you that you don't know. So with that number of people looking at the property, and just in our area alone, you know, if they're seeing it and then that's we don't hear from them again, what would you think that would be indicative of? Mhm. Well, I'd agree with you on that. So here's well, and look, there's the I know that there's the it's 2 lots combined with the structure. Well, I mean, you've seen the people like there is some value to it, but it's not a lot. They're not really concerned about it because there's not a lot of frontage. There's not a lot of road frontage on it, and that's important, which I know you know. Mhm. Okay, that's fair. Mhm. Well, that we wanna get you there, okay? So, at the end of the day, I mean, if you remember, when we initially met, that was the first question that we asked you, which is why share with me, what would be the reason you would be looking to put this on the market? The property. Why would you be looking and you shared with us, look, you're looking to retire. You don't wanna run the business anymore. Yeah, and then when we mentioned time frame, you're like, "Hey, as soon as possible." Yes. That's a good question, but let me share with you this. It's almost impossible to underprice a property, and here's why. Because if buyers and agents see value there, they're gonna bid it up where the market value is. Yeah, because if the well, think about it. If market says the property's at 1.2, okay, and we listed at, let's say, 1.150, and they know that there are sales that support 1,200,000. Yeah, they're gonna well, of course, they would bid it up to where it's worth, yes. Would they go above it? That's a possibility too. I mean, we've had bidding wars. But the problem where we're at now is we're so above the market value. Now they're like, "Well, we're just gonna wait for them to bring a reduction down." And we've been chasing the market down now for 6 months. Yes. And if you remember when we initially met, we went over that with you, that there is a big challenge that comes with listing properties way above market value. The biggest perception is it's twofold. Can I share with you what they are? Well, the first is the seller's not really serious about selling because they're asking 200 grand above where it's worth. So the first perception is, well, they're not really serious. They're just going on the market to see what they can get. Then the second one is there's what we call a perceived value that comes with time. Okay. So when I say that, I say there's a perceived value. In the initial 30, like when you initially list a property, do you think the perceived value is high or do you think the perceived value is low? The public's opinion of the property. Exactly, it's high because it's new. As time goes on, do you think that perceived value of a property that's on the market now 30 days, 60 days, 90 days, do you think that perceived value stays the same, or do you think it decreases over time? I would agree with you. Why do you think that is? And Lydia, those are the questions that we're now fielding. What's wrong with it? And that's really the one we're getting is what's wrong with it? Now, there's nothing wrong with it, right? Right. That's the challenge that comes with listing your property so high. So now we're doing that. So really, at the end of the day, we know the market has spoken, telling us that, you know, the price is too high. We haven't had offers. We've had very, very, very little showings, right? Yeah. So look, Jason and I have we continue to have people, asking us about it, but they're waiting for a reduction in the number. Okay. Well, and you mentioned that. So look, at the end of the day, we really appreciate the opportunity to help you and serve you. We do. But at this point, Lydia, it doesn't make sense for us to keep the property on the market. It's all it's doing is driving bringing the value of your property down because the seller or the buyers now have said to themselves, we're not going to go see it. There's no value there, and we're not making any offers. We haven't had any offers. Well, look, again, at the end of the day, we really appreciate meeting with you, and we really wanted to help and serve you and get this done so you and your husband can move on to the next phase of your life. But it's just not serving you, and to be honest, it's not serving us either to keep it on the market as long as we have. Yeah, and again, we would say you're free to do what you want to do with it. But again, whether it's us or somebody else, the public has already spoken, and no, we know this. Nobody's going to be able to market it like we have. You've had closer to 100,000 people see it, and we built that relationship with you. Well, here's what I would say, okay, and I appreciate you saying that. Why don't you give us a shot doing it? We've sold, so just so you know, and I know you know this because we went over this when we initially met. We've sold hundreds of properties, and many of them like yours. This isn't unique as far as the property itself because it's just a couple lots with a structure on it that we've done numerous times. Try it the way that we suggested in the beginning, and let's see. We'll take it off. We'll put it on as a new listing, or we could just change the. I mean, we don't even need to do that. We could just change the price. Give us 30 days on that. Let's see how the market and the public responds to it. And if after 30 days you're like, I'm done, I don't want it anymore, hey, we'll give it because we're prepared to do that now for you. But we really don't want to because it's not, but at the end of the day, it isn't serving you to just keep having the property sitting here. Well, think about it. If it doesn't sell, we don't get compensated, you don't get compensated. So nobody wins. The goal at the end of the day is you, because when you have somebody else that comes to you and says, "Hey, we have, we're thinking about selling this property or that," who are you gonna think of when you do? Yeah, we wanna be them. That's what we wanna be for you. So all I'm suggesting is try it our way. Try it our way for 30 days. What do you have to lose? It's been on the market 6 months already. There's nothing to lose. You've built the relationship with us. You've seen the results that we're giving you. It's not for lack of, marketability. We just need to change the public perception because of how high we listed it. Okay? That's fair. That's fair. I'll let Jason know that. Let's reconnect. It's Thursday. You wanna go Monday? Take the weekend, really think about it? Okay. And just keep this in mind, okay? This was initially what we had suggested in the beginning. We just never took the reduction to get us there. So this exactly. Perfect. Listen, you guys are the boss. This is your property. Whatever you decide to do, and we've said it a lot, we're going to support you. Jason and I will support you 100%. Whatever you guys decide to do, I just want to present you options, facts, number one. These are facts, and then give you the options on what you have. And then you and your husband can make the best decision you can with regards to the property. Okay? Either we've been working together for 6 months. What's another 30 days? Well, we're gonna have to repackage it and remarket it. So yes, there is a cost that comes with that. Absolutely. It's not gonna go out of your pocket. Don't worry. We will handle that. But yeah, just to keep paying to market the property, there's a cost. Absolutely. Look, think of it this way. It costs eminently more for real estate agents to list property than it does for an agent to bring a buyer in. All they're really doing is opening a door. There are very few agents out there that work with buyers that actually have skills other than just opening doors and answering questions. I know a few of them. They actually have an order and a buyer agreement that they send to buyers that explains to them the services that they offer. Most of them are just opening doors. No, well, that's why a lot of times having the listing agent show the property is the best way because we know the most about it. We're not we don't field phone calls from buyer agents asking about properties and how they can present it. No, they're just going to open door and, our OM, the offering memorandum, has everything in. So, yeah, don't worry about the cost we'll handle, okay? Alright, Monday, we'll do it Monday. That's fair. We want what you want. Yes. Uh, I appreciate that. I thank you. We're gonna get to the finish line, it's just the manner of how we get there, but we're gonna need some help from you. Perfect. Awesome. Yep. You enjoy it, Lydia. Appreciate you. And we will reach out to you on Monday. Both Jason and I will. Thanks. You as well. Bye. All right. All right, let's go over this before. Oh, hang on, real quick. My partner did call me, so let me see what he wants. See if I can get him back. Yo, I saw you called. What's going on? What's up? 2 million. No. Hold on. Say that again. It was listed for what? Oh, yes. Because he told the agent told him, well, if we underlist it, we'll get yeah, we're gonna get multiple bids. Yep, yep. That's what I know. So he was like not thrilled with that whole the resi agent said that, and then he didn't get it and was like, I know the property wasn't presented to many commercial people at all. Yeah. Do you think two is between the two buildings? Do you think two is doable? Yeah. And he said to me, look, we could if we presented him like one, it's like Nancy. If we presented him like 1.9, 1.95, 1.19, 1.875, I don't think he's going to say no to it. I think we can negotiate it. He's a straight shooter, man. He's been living it. He's disgusted with the building department. You heard him, man. He's like, they suck. Joe. And when we get done with this one, I have that guy that's got that 50 unit property in Scotch Plains. I Yeah. Hmm. The agent. Yes. Yes. Hmm. I know. It's 1.7. Yeah. I gotcha. Okay. Yeah. Hmm. I know, but when he, I don't know. I think we can listen. We, but but I think he wants to sell. I do, man. I think he really wants to sell this. Um, I think it's just a matter of that he's just asking. It's like everybody else. get into, and they're just asking crazy numbers. But he was really like, "Yeah, I want 2,000,000 and everybody's promising me this, and I'm getting all these phone calls." He's tired of getting phone calls, I know that. Yeah, yeah, that yes, that's yep. I'm good with it. Do you wanna call him now? Joe. Alright, let me, I know he said it was best to call in the afternoon, but I have well, I can around 4, but he said, yeah, you wanna just see if this is a good time now? Let's see if it's a good time now, hold on. I got his cell here. I was actually just looking at this, and then we'll go over the other one that I have. It's like a 50 unit approved, in Scotch Plains. Alright, see if he answers. It's ringing. Hey, Joe? Joe, it's Daniel and Jason with Tip Commercial. Do you remember speaking with us? I wanna say it was about a week ago regarding your buildings, and you gave us all the information regarding, like, rents and things of that nature. You were actually playing cards when we when we initially spoke with you. Um, okay. Yeah, we can do that. Awesome, thanks. Alright, he hung up. So we'll call him back in a half hour. Alright, real quick, you wanna pull this up? Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? 725-735 Jerusalem Road. Yeah, old expired. This was like a year and a half ago. It's like it's like 2 acres, 2.5 acres, something like that. It's 2, it's like 2, I wanna say it's like 2 lots. He's g What's up? 725-735 Jerusalem Road. Yeah, as in like Jesus, Jerusalem. Yeah. Approved 46 units. It's leased right now. He ended up didn't getting what he wanted. He listed at 5.5. Didn't He got offers, just not at that. Yeah, didn't get it at that. Yeah. So he ended up leasing it to a construction guy and a tree guy. Half leased one part, half leased the other part. Is like, hey, present me something. Um, he's getting cash flow on it now with the 2 tenants, but at the end of the day, he's yeah. Okay. Okay. That's all. That's basically what it is. So let's give what's up? Yeah. 10:30, so 11 o'clock. You got it. Cool. All right. So just so you guys know, like these are things that sometimes I don't know because, um, but he is like, no, this is way too much. So, all right, that's today's session, guys. I am getting ready to go. I have to help my neighbors move a boat, so I'm just picking them up. So I got a jet. Doesn't seem like there's any questions. I've asked a couple times, but nobody seemed to want to put anything in the chat, which is fine, guys. Just listen. It's cool if you guys want to just listen. But we are pretty much good to go. My boy is sitting in the hospital waiting to have his first baby. And I am juiced. So no questions. Anybody got anything before I let you go? Juice is in the I'm going to write it in here, guys. You know what I'm going to say. The juice is in the follow-up. There it is. It's all follow-up. Cool. I appreciate y'all very much. Love your lives. No questions. I will be here tomorrow, but I'll be in my northern location, so you'll see my studio, and we'll go from there. Appreciate y'all. Oh, and any questions regarding like mentoring, coaching, stuff like that, just reach out to me. The skill that I'm exhibiting today, which is price reductions and pre-qualification for appointments, I can teach that to y'all too. All right. Take care.